Hey everyone, back for some more bagging and boarding here on this Friday evening. Won't get them all done tonight, but I got a nice big stack over here. Actually, got two stacks, big one, little one. Get through as many as I can. Interesting allotment. I got some random stuff and then a whole stack of Super Magician. Oh,
Let's do this.
what's up, man?
Trying to bag and board some stuff.
Are you doing the same?
No, I just got home. Just got home and sat down. I had to go and pick up Finn and Monkey. We went. My oldest turns 19 Sunday, and we went out for dinner and stuff. And after dinner, they wanted to ride with Grandma and the other grandkids back to her house and play. So they went and did that. Me and Kyle ran some errands, late night shopping, and just got home from picking up the kids.
So you were a fan of the movie then?
Into Oak Street?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I saw Unruly Simeon gave it a little review, and
John's Comics with Kids tagged me in that. All right, and I responded to John's comment. He said, "Don't tell Legion of Comics and tag me." And I looked at it, and I just want to point out that's the same guy that praised the Supergirl movie, and I'll just leave it at that. There's your fucking context to a reliable reviewer. The movie's getting across the board positive feedback, like across the board. And then the one guy that loves Supergirl didn't enjoy it. So
I guess I didn't realize he was a Supergirl fan.
Bro, there's some things in life when it like Mr. Comics 89 and another buddy on YouTube here, like every single Marvel movie that has ever come out, he gives it an A or an A+ rating. What's up, Dale?
Yeah.
Like Madam Web, he gave an A rating to, but let anything that's not MCU come out and he gives it like a B or a C. So there's some people that you just like, okay, you're not a reviewer, you're not a reliable person for these such things whatsoever. I don't know. I read his review, his criticisms come, and I had a comment back and forth with him in his thing. I'm like, and I said, it seems like you're offended by intentional nostalgic tropes because the movie takes place in 1980s, and there's almost like a Steven Spielberg like kind of intentional tropey feeling to a lot of it. You know, you'll feel,
I got the impression he didn't like the music either.
Yeah, dude, the fuck, it's pretty much got a John Williams soundtrack to it, dude. The score is fantastic.
Oh, really, John Williams?
No, it's not John Williams. But when you hear it, you're going to think to yourself, this guy went to the John Williams school for
gotcha,
inspiration kind of thing. It feels like Amblin made the movie, like it feels like a total nod to Amblin Entertainment. It's not redefining cinema whatsoever. It's a movie about dinosaurs running around a suburban neighborhood in the 1980s, and it does everything you'd want it to do exceptionally well.
You don't listen to the people that like Supergirl?
Bro, like that should be a metric test. Did you like the Marvels? Did you like Supergirl? There's certain things in life you're like, oh, okay. And I don't mean that from anybody. I mean that by somebody like in the comic sphere. You know what I mean? There should be some serious red flags with our shared experience of comics and comic sphere kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. What year is that? Like 1952?
44.
Damn. That's a tough year to put books out.
Yeah.
Why weren't they working? Quit making books and go to war, asshole.
Right. Yeah, this is a.
Dale's got a good question for you, Scott. Dale, it might be a myth. I've yet to see any proof that Scott's actually downsizing. I heard him say it too, Dale.
G.I. Joe 154 or
And
152. Let me look through my stack here.
What are that? The seven? Is that the 7 books you're selling?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to dwindle down to at the end of the day. I've got a number 11.
You're just flexing now.
Yeah. I have very few G.I. Joe. Whatever I have was picked up on accident. In a lot, or when instead of the bulk, I don't want to say the bulk, but a ton of books I've got came from one auction like 25 years ago, and they're just selling long boxes of random shit, and they wouldn't let you. I say they wouldn't let you. They give you a couple minutes to get up on stage. It was an old gymnasium, like an old grade school gym, and the stage was just filled with long boxes, and
You kind of just walk by and peek as you're walking, kind of thing.
yeah, they would get you. I mean, they only wanted to take a couple minutes in between rounds of selling, and they'd say, "Okay, make up your mind and shoo you along." And then finally, they got to a point. They're like, "Okay, $25 a box. How many are you taking?" And then there was me, and there was like 2 other people who were buying most of them, and we just kind of got together and went, "All right, how many do you want? How many do you want?" And I got as many as I could fit in the Jeep, and that was it. So, but I probably ended up with about 5,000 books.
What was some of the biggest hitters out of that?
It random. Probably the biggest thing was there was a almost complete run of Star Wars. Some of the early issues, like under 10, were missing, but from there up, there was almost all of them and plenty of duplicates. And other than that, it was just all random. ROM. For some reason, I was into ROM at the time.
My pops loves ROM too.
And there was basically a full run of ROM. It had to have been a shop with the amount of duplicates, or somebody like me who was a hoarder. But
What's
yeah, I
with the
grabbed
stickers?
a random long box today, went through it, and it was one of the boxes from that.
Scott, what's with the stickers you put on the back?
Oh, so the cataloging software, it makes a sticker. I don't know if you can actually read it, but it's got the information about the book, stories, artists.
What is it called? Comic base or something like that?
Comic base, yeah. It's got the grade of the book, the grade I give it, and then what box I put it in.
You bag and board your books upside down?
Yeah, when I started doing this Mylar, I figured out I could just fold it over and not tape them. And then for some reason I thought, well, if I fold it over and then put it in upside down in the box, there's less to snag when I pull things in and out. And gravity ought to keep it sealed and closed. So yeah, so it goes in upside down, label on the board on the back, and then of course sealed on the bottom. And in 6 months I go, Scott, you're a fucking dumbass. Why'd you do that?
And get a rebag and board them all over again.
Yeah, no, that's not. This is the last time I will be doing this. I got better practices on my backing up my data now. I mean, that's the main reason I'm doing this, because my database got corrupt.
You had to start it over?
It had been corrupt for so long that all my backups were corrupt. And the best backup I found was about 9 months old and was missing a ton of books. So,
and that you've been cataloging for a few years, like with your scanner and all kinds of stuff. It hasn't been corrupt since then, has it?
No. It didn't corrupt until, I don't know when exactly it corrupted, because it would still let me enter things in, but for some reason it just wasn't taking hold. And then I tried repairing the file. I tried a whole bunch of shit in it. Little J. Edgar Hoover action there.
That's pretty cool.
1947. It's odd, some of these sizes you find in the Golden Age stuff. Some are just a little bit wider. Some are just a little bit longer. Like this one is just a little bit taller than other books. Anything else new with you?
No, not yet. That was it for the past few days. The movie and birthday dinner. Tomorrow, Finn has his karate testing. My nephew has his birthday party I got to take him to after that. Sunday, I'm going to the minor leagues ball game. We got the Augusta Green Jackets here, and Finn's in the leadership program in his karate school where, you know, he gets a different color gi jacket and he helps instruct the classes for the kids younger than him and stuff like that. So all the students that are in the leadership program were invited to go to a ball game, and they got like the little special little place reserved for them and catered and everything, saying thank you for all their volunteer help and stuff. So we're going to go do that. Just a busy, fun weekend of chilling, running around.
Yeah, I don't have, hopefully not much on my agenda this weekend. I'm going to try and take it easy. Go see a movie or two.
I was about to say, means you're going to the movies.
Yep. Main one is to see Brink of War.
Which one?
Brink of War. It's the
that's the one with Brendan Fraser, right?
No, it's got J.K. Simmons and
I'm looking it up.
Jeff Daniels and
yeah,
I can't remember who else, but it's about the Cold War, Reagan, Gorbachev summit in Iceland. Put out by Angel Studios.
Yeah. Dude, they're cooking right now. They just announced a movie with Alan Ritchson and Owen Wilson coming up.
Yeah.
That they're putting out. Are you a guild member?
I am. It's well worth the money. Because you get 2 free tickets to every movie they release.
I still haven't seen Young Washington yet. My mom went and saw it and loved it.
Oh, it was awesome. The other thing that's cool about being in the guild is they give you early access to things that are in like pre-production or planning stages, and let you vote on them to see if they're going to go through with it. Mm-hmm. And some things would be like all AI generated because it's that early in production and concept, and then other things, you know, they're movies that are already made and they're just doing advanced screenings on them basically.
You just watch them on their platform.
Yep, on their app. Ramar of the Jungle. Toby Comics.
Kind of like Kramer, but without the K. Raymer of the Jungle.
This one might fit. NA. Yep. I can get that one. That's the other disappointment I had. Using these Golden Age bags, these books don't fit in a standard comic box. So I have to use magazine boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And with the 42-point backers in them, I'm only getting a little over 100 books in a box.
That's not going very far.
No. But, you know, I guess another reason to thin the herd down.
Yeah, about that. You haven't talked about that much more. What's your plan of action for that? How are you going to decide what to thin out, and how are you going to go about selling it?
So basically, I'm going to end up keeping all the Dells, getting rid of duplicates, but keeping at least one of every Dell. So it'd be all my Looney Tunes and Walt Disney.
Move it where you got the glare off of it.
The original He-Man.
That's crazy.
He-Man #1, Toby Comics. But yeah, keeping all the Dells, keeping all the war books. Westerns, if they're Dell, definitely. Outside of Dell, I'm not positive yet.
Do you have any Rex Mason books?
I'm sorry, any what?
Rex Mason, the OG Ghost Rider from the Golden Age?
Just a couple. Nothing key. They're just random. You mean you're talking the Western Golden Age?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have first appearance or anything like that, but
It's an expensive book, but it's not like an unobtainable expensive book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in one of my searches because it's in one of those random books that you know, it's one of those if you know books.
Mm-hmm. And there's like two keys. There's the first appearance of him, and then the first appearance of him when he becomes Ghost Rider. I just picked up, like I recorded a video for it. It comes out Monday, but I got the first Carter Slade Ghost Rider recently. Rex Fury, yeah. It's in Tim Holt #11.
Yep.
And then or Tim Holt #6, and Tim Holt #7 is when he becomes a Ghost Rider. It looks like that. This little box of him on the corner.
Yep.
And then the first Rex Fury before he was the Ghost Rider was in that.
Right now in high grade, that book goes crazy.
Yeah, now I know Key Collector is not the bastion of accurate pricing, but Key Collector has that Tim Holt at 1,000, and it has the number 11 with the Ghost Rider at a high of 7.3 and a low of 700. And I just want the one with him as Ghost Rider.
I've never seen that number 11, that first where
there's a beat up copy on eBay. I mean, beat the fuck up. Like probably a 1.5 if you're lucky, listed for $2,400.
I didn't say. I was thinking around 15 is about the cheapest I've seen. Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Oh, nice.
High grade too. That's something. Somehow I ended up with almost a full run of that already. Just the random shit you pick up, right? But no, that's I got to get things cataloged again first, then I'll start looking at what I need to pick up, what I need to find. Just like I thought I had all my Super Magician in one spot, and in my old database, I had every book marked off. But as I sit here now with this big tall stack beside me, I'm missing 2. So So which box did I stick
And
it
you,
in?
and you have them, but
Yes, and I had them. Have them. So I'm just, once I get the fluff all gone, everything that's just randomly laying around in piles, and I get that in a new box, then I'm just going to start grabbing a short box at a time or long box or whatever and go through them and go keep, and then have a box of stuff to liquidate.
and that's brings up
My
the second
liquidation
question:
strategy is going to be,
what avenue are you going to go to actually sell them? Do you just use eBay, or are you going to try to auction house?
initially, I'm going to put some of the better books on eBay, and then all the fodder, I'm just going to bundle up in like lots of comic grandma. I never thought about it, but yeah, I got lots of books that disappear, and they'll turn back up eventually, but usually when it's too late.
Now you mentioned keeping all kinds of Western Dells, your Looney Tunes, Disney. You didn't say shit about your DC or your Marvel books, which will be your most desired books when it comes to
Right.
stuff. What are you
Obviously,
doing with those?
everything Spectre related and everything Hex related. Other than that, I'm going to be.
You're liquidating your big two then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep the blue chips.
So you're trying to get your warehouse back, basically.
Yeah, I would like it to get down to the point where, realistically, down to 5,000 to 7,000 books, maybe.
Down from what, close to 40?
No. 25. Not 40. But yeah, roughly 25. So, but yeah, I got a bunch of the minor X-Men keys and what was it just random I found today going through a box was.
I remember when you randomly found that GSX laying around that you were doing your test pressing on. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna test this presser. Like, why the fuck are you using GSX?
Just because it was there.
Worked out though.
Nice Red Rider ad. I love some of the ads on the back.
I have that BB gun in my laundry room.
On Big Shot Comics. But yeah, first cover appearance of Thanos. Just random thing I found today. I can't remember what book it was now, but I'd written on
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like 22, maybe. Minor key, whatever. But definitely not something for me. And even I've got that Jimmy Olsen 116 or whatever it is. I might dump it. Because I don't know that I would consider that a blue chip book, really.
What's Jimmy Olsen 116?
First Thanos, the one where he's.
Are you talking about 123, the dark side?
It is 123, yeah. Where he's in the TV screen on the last panel.
Yeah, where Superman's being held up by the biker gang.
Yeah. Because, again, I don't know that that's necessarily a blue chip.
It's definitely an undervalued book. You'd think Darkseid would command more value. It doesn't.
But I've got that in the 9.2 or 9.4.
You'll get a pretty penny for that.
Yeah.
Couple hundred bucks.
But I'm going to just box a bunch up and sell them in lots of 20 or 25 we have yard sales downtown at the warehouse. And just start throwing, bundles out at people. Seeing what they do. Maybe do what was it the Peddlin' Pete used to do his for?
Fight.
Yeah.
Get you a ring bell. Ding, ding, ding. He still sends me messages every single day.
He gave up on me apparently.
He doesn't send me messages about selling comics. He's like he moved and he stopped doing all the sales. He's doing all the stuff in the gym. He makes little clips of him in the gym. The Sandman. But he just shares out his little reels and clips.
Hey, Barbarian. Finally caught your show the other night. Well, I know you just started back up, but there were a couple books I was tempted on, but I got to refrain for now anyways. So I figured out if you cut the corner off of your flaps, it makes them tuck in and stay better. I like these old boy comics. Lev Gleason Publishing.
You read them?
Yeah. They're all those dated books from back then with the colloquialisms from the 40s and 50s. Charles Bureau covers. Those, and then like the old Lev Gleason Daredevils. And again, that's another, golden age book, but it fits in a modern bag and board. Yeah, some of it's definitely pretty corny. Makes you kind of wonder if it was corny back then when they wrote it, or if it, I'm sure it carried different weight back then. Just like that. I got some Bullwinkle art. So Bullwinkle was first published in 1962, and I got the New Year's Day 1963 strip. So it only been published for about 6 months. So it's a real early strip, first New Year's strip, and I had to look up one of the references on the comic on the script because I didn't quite understand what they were talking about. One was about Lucky Lindy, which that one I knew, but there was another, just something that was in the vernacular in the 60s that. Yeah, Bureau was a hell of an artist. Yep, Crime Doesn't Pay. That was one of his strips. Dick Tracy, actual first new Dick Tracy material in comics. Before that, it was all newspaper reprints. Yeah, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. What else? The big catchphrases. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Moose and squirrel. That's what Boris would say. Hey, there were a couple others that were. How bad is that? I can't remember. There was a nice strip in the same. Actually, two nice strips in the auction. One was the very first Rocky and Bullwinkle strip. It went for like $7,500.
Jesus.
The other was a which I was bidding on this one. It was a Christmas Day strip from the first Christmas strip, and it had all four main characters plus Fearless Leader in it, which would have been the ideal strip to have. But the next bid would have put it at two grand, which I thought was way too much. I mean, maybe it wasn't for actually what it was. I guess kind of a historical strip, but more than I wanted to pay.
Barbarian wants to know if you'd be at all interested in a 20s newsprint funny page.
I don't. Maybe. I guess it depends on what the content is. But there'd probably be some westerns on it. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know what would have been new in the 20s. Oh, you got that a new pooch?
No, it's my same old dog. I got the wiener dog in this one. He just got a haircut yesterday is all. So I went to work with him, went to work with me and got him cleaned up. Monkey wanted him to have a mohawk.
Looks like Spike.
That's what I've been calling him. From old Beethoven.
From Beethoven?
Yeah. The little puppy from Beethoven 2 with the...
Oh, no, I think... Yeah, here's my spoiled. I'm thinking Spike from Gremlins, but...
Oh, you little gremlin. You little gremlin. You little gremlin.
Oh, you gotta spoil them.
What was that?
Oh, there it is. I'm putting a dent in my bags and boards, but slowly but surely. Yes. What about Super Troopers? Is that on your list, or is that one you're going to wait?
Dude, I would love to watch it. Jay and Kevin were on Story Wars this week, aired last night. Started watching some of that with the wife earlier. You know, Ramrod, Ramathorn, and
Yeah,
they're guests on Story Wars. It's a comedy podcast with Big J Okerson. They do weekly and have rotating guests on there. But I like the Broken Lizard crew, and I've enjoyed all their shit. And I don't know if I'll get to see it on the big screen or not. Kind of a packed weekend. Maybe there's a shot Sunday morning. I don't know.
I can't believe how many people have not seen the either of the first two.
Yeah, or Beer Fest or Club Dread.
Yeah, Club Dread I wasn't a huge fan of. I mean, it was fine.
I'll tell you, it gets funnier the more you watch it.
Just not on the same level as the other ones.
And Slammin' Salmon was really good. It was kind of their version of the movie Waiting. You know, all their movies have like their little comedy troupe plus like one guest star. Like Super Troopers had Brian Cox in it as their chief.
Yeah.
And Club Dread had Bill Paxton in it. Slam and Salmon had Michael Clark Duncan in it in one of his last roles. It's pretty funny.
So what was it about?
You know that movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, where you follow the waiters in a restaurant?
Yeah,
Justin Long and Ryan Reynolds. It's basically the same concept. You're just following the actors from Super Troopers, the Broken Lizard comedy crew. They're all just waiters or cook or whatever in a restaurant for an busy evening shift, and the crazy antics kind of that go along with it. But it's called the Slam and Salmon.
Who has a cool popcorn bucket? Super Troopers?
I don't think I saw the Super Trooper bucket.
Back when I used to hang out the sheriff's department all the time. That would you couldn't get out of there without somebody quoting the movie, like a half a dozen times.
Oh, yeah, that bucket is pretty funny. It's got the glasses and the mustache and the hat.
Like a trooper with a hat. Yeah, I fear that this weekend will be Brink of War and Super Troopers, and then maybe I'll get to see at the end of Oak Street.
I know you got the guild thing, so you definitely want to take advantage of that. But being a fan of the Broken Lizard crew and all their stuff, I would still recommend seeing the end of Oak Street. It's such a we don't get a lot of movies like this, kind of original script, big budget, just kind of fun stuff. I was talking to Pops about it, like when the trailer came out and stuff. And I've seen it said numerous times now, but it's like the best description. It's pretty much like someone found an old script for an unused episode of Twilight Zone that got dusted off, injected with a solid budget, and made into a movie.
I mean, I'm a big fan now of movies that don't have to think while I'm watching.
This is one. They run it with I think a 97-minute runtime, so it's paced. You know what I mean? You're there to see chaos and dinosaurs and you get it. And there's enough subplot to give it some substance. And there's a couple of secondary subplots with some of the characters that I just couldn't give a fuck about, because they want you to at least know the characters. It's a family of 4, so you have the parents and their little plot in it. Plus, then you have the kids and the stuff with the kids. That's where you get into the very 1980s Steven Spielberg kind of tropes feel to things. Like the standard trope of kids are going to make dumb decisions in movies. They use that to drive the plot in some situations, which when you see it, you're not even why would you do that? You see it and you think to yourself, yo, that's exactly what kids would do in a 1980s movie. You know what I mean? It doesn't give you the feeling of oh, why would you do that? You're intentionally doing that so that we can fulfill a trope intentionally. And it kind of makes you chuckle. And I said it in my review, the single most shocking moment that I've seen in theaters all year long, hands down, goes to this movie. Hands down.
I did think it was funny that Unruly said he was rooting for the whole family and the dog to get eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck his whole critique was. Couldn't understand it in the slightest.
I mean, the way I look at it, if there's people out there that actually like the Batman, so
the Batman is objectively a good movie, a well-made movie. I'll put it that way. What I mean, Batman is objectively a well-made movie. It's like all Christopher Nolan films are objectively well-made movies. Doesn't mean you're going to like them all. Taste comes into play, but you can't argue the fact that they're not well-made, well-produced.
Nothing about the movie made sense to me.
You know me, I really love the Batman.
Little Lulu.
But yeah, this was a blast of a summer movie. Like putting the critical aspect aside, just my personal taste and enjoyment. This probably moved up into the top 3 for the year for me.
Oh,
wow. That's me talking from like my personal bias and all that. Like I'm still like a sucker for dinosaur content.
Yeah.
But judging from the feedback and reviews across the board, you know, I don't think it's too much misplaced excitement. But like Mortal Kombat 2 is not the best movie of the year, not by a country mile, but it's my personal most enjoyed film of the year so far for me. I was so happy.
It's streaming now, I think.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max and it's released on physical media. Got my steelbook in. Gorgeous. It's got katana on the back of it. This thing's awesome. But like I was so disappointed with that last one they did, and I was so happy with this one. And I've rewatched it. I watched it twice while it was in theaters, and rewatched it 3 times now at home. And one of those times was kind of like a bastardized version of rewatching it because Finn was wanting to see it so much, so I went through and like showed him like the parts that he would want to see, the fight scenes where they're not talking and Kano's not walking around calling everyone the C word and all that stuff. Cause it's a hard R.
Daredevil, the original Daredevil.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
More Charles Bureau. Oh.
But I think the other one in the top 3 for me would probably be The Odyssey. I love that, dude. Did you see it?
Oh yeah. It was other than Elliot Page being on the screen.
Dude, I laughed my ass off. I'm not even joking. Out loud, laughed my ass off on premiere day in the theater. A pretty full theater on the island while I was on vacation with like a lot of old heads, like because it's the people that live on that island are older, retired, or people with money, and like all these. Like when it was over and the lights came on and we stood up, I told Kyle, I'm like, look around. This is not the normal looking movie crowd. Because, you know, we go to like these superhero movies and the end of Oak Street and people that are drawn to that kind of content. But then the Odyssey brought out everybody, dude. Like,
yeah, it was pretty diverse crowd.
Different crowd.
Yeah.
But so I'm in that kind of theater and Elliot Page comes bumbling down the hill toward the Trojan horse as the Greek riders were not the Greek, but the Trojan riders were riding up. And just get speared like instantly. And I laughed my ass off, dude. I was the only one in the theater making a noise. Because all that stuff leading up to the film, just to
yeah, I knew she was only in it for had like 2 minutes of screen time or something total.
I had no clue. I avoided so much stuff. I didn't even know that Charlize Theron was in the movie until she popped up on screen. I'm like, oh damn.
I found that out like the week of. I didn't know who she played, but
I didn't know James Remar was in the movie until they were in Hades and he popped up and started talking to Odysseus. The first lines he had said, "Is that Liam Neeson?" Then I was like listening hard. I'm like, that's the unmistakable voice of James Remar because half of his face was covered with the cloth.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know? So you couldn't get a good look at him, but I look at my 4K Kino Lorber release of The Phantom every day. It's on like display up there. And, you know, James Remar was him and Treat Williams were your 2 big bad guys in that. But I love James Remar as an actor since I was a kid, from him in Mortal Kombat to The Phantom to his more recent stuff and like Dexter. He's been in so many things. The first Terminator movie. He's like Clint Howard. He's everywhere.
Speaking of Clint Howard, I guess he's making
Ice
another.
Cream Man.
Yeah.
I saw that.
It's actually called Another Ice Cream Man, I think.
You need to go out for it. All the negative reviews and feedback that Eli's new Ice Cream Man got only makes me want to see it more.
Oh yeah, it's still not playing anywhere close to me to go see. But yeah, it's got to be. As soon as I saw what previews I did see, I'm like, this is just going to end up being one of those movies that's so bad it's good. It's going to turn into a cult classic.
Yep. There's a formula to that. Like it's a 360 formula. Do the full loop. And when you go in, when you man, I don't know who is familiar with Eli Roth that doesn't go in with the proper expectations to begin with. But it's weird because he can make movies like Cabin Fever, The First Hostel, and most recently Thanksgiving that are like Thanksgiving was really good. That one with John Carver, the serial killer. Did you see that? The guy that was dressed like bro, that's gotta be Eli Roth's best film. Like I think it has to be sitting in the 90s percentile for critics and audience review. Like they ended up after it was released, it got such good positive feedback. They went back and made merchandise for it. Like they put in like stores like Hot Topic and stuff like that. It's kind of it feels like a really well done late 80s slasher film. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes has it at an 83. That's lower than I thought. But it was wildly praised.
Has Thanksgiving that low?
Yeah. I mean, it's certified fresh.
Yeah, I mean 83 still.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I do? I sent 25 pages of art off to Heritage for auction.
You are doing something. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, sent it off today. FedEx. Yeah, kind of a unofficial goal is to get rid of 10% of the art every year.
Pick this up tonight.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, the Zack Snyder remake, like 2004 or something like that.
Yeah. That's I didn't see it at the theater, but I can remember catching it on HBO or Showtime or one of those. Was that the one with the Ving Rhames in it?
Yeah, where they were running.
Yeah.
That was really, really damn good. This was a big deal when it came out. Me and like all my friend groups at school and stuff, we used to go to the movies a lot. And that was one that we caught opening weekend. That one, Final Destination 2 was a big deal one. Those are fun movies. Yeah, that's kind of like how I would equate from what I heard about this Eli Roth Ice Cream Man. like you're only going to see the kills. You're going just to see the creative special effects and the kill scenes. You're not going for the plot or the characters to a Ice Cream Man Eli Roth movie.
I saw an interview with him, and if there, I don't know if there's any behind the scenes stuff, or if there will be, but he was talking about all the kids that are in the movie and how the laws are the regulations are with the
Parents have to stay in eyesight.
Yeah, have to be within eyesight of the parent or guardian the whole time. And he was talking about how much fun the kids had being in the blood,
wanting to take the prop limbs home with them and everything.
And he said, talking, some of the parents were fighting over, no, my kid needs more blood on him, or no, put that prosthetic on my kid, which is, I never crossed my mind, but yeah, I can see competitive parents would just be like soccer moms. Stopping by Green Machine, Mr. Green Machine.
What's up, Larry?
And Comic Addicts.
Tapio, what's up, bro?
Link's pinned if anybody else wants to hop on. Looney Tunes. So I'm about 6 books, I think, away from finishing the Looney Tunes run. Once I find everything, and that'll be the first one. I just mark it off the list. I'm just, whatever I need, I'm just going to buy it just to get it done.
You planning on hitting up Heroes Con again at some point?
It's on my list to go, but
why didn't you go this year?
It's too much on my plate this year. With Mom passing away the end of last year and business stuff and just everything going on, it was just
a lot.
Just a lot, yeah. But yes, I have every intention of going this year.
What do you have, Larry?
Yeah, hell, hop on here and show them off, whatever they are.
Let's see what you have, Larry.
And that's something I might start doing. Like right now, basically everything that I'm doing is stuff that's going to be, it's in the keeper pile. But I may just start grabbing a box and going through and sorting them.
It'd be super convenient if you had one of those just little display walls that people put the books on with the little sticky notes where you see the price.
Yeah.
Just have that behind you while you're doing what you're doing right now. And so if anyone just finds you while you're live working,
I'll be here.
My stopwatch, Larry. You got 37 seconds. We believe in you.
But yeah, I'm undecided whether I'm going to clean out this closet behind me to put books in here, or whether I'm going to take keepers back to the warehouse. If I'm only getting 100 books in a short box, that means I'm going to need 15 short boxes just for the 4-color run. So I may have to rethink that. I may still have to take stuff to the warehouse, but daunting. daunting.
There. What's up?
Hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. How's it going?
All right. That's a bummer. I wanted to sell tonight, but it didn't happen. You guys want to know what I have?
Yeah.
Well, these are my top 5 I was gonna do. I had Daredevil 181.
Nice. First Electra.
I got this light one. I wasn't set up for it. There we go. Maybe that helps. Yeah. I had 298, 299. All in good shape. BF 80 plus.
Was that
That
Eddie
dang
Brock
light.
and Venom?
Yeah. And then I had a Amazing Spider-Man number 71. Whoops.
That's a cool
Yeah.
cover. I love that Quicksilver outfit.
Yeah, the bad thing is it's got a little tear about this long on the cover, but you can't really see it. And then my piece de resistance was a GI Joe 21.
Nice.
Yeah.
First Storm Shadow.
So I'm gonna maybe try and get on this Sunday with them over there. You know, at whatever I kept forgetting the name of the place with MT, and then maybe try Sunday. Give them a call Sunday morning, see if I can get on there. I need some gas money.
What channel was it?
That was Carlos Collects Comics. Expensive paper.
Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with that one.
Carlos Collects Comics. I'm a member. Been there for years. You have to check it out. You've stopped by a couple of times, I think.
I might have. I bounce around and say hey to people and keep it moving a lot of times. I hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, and
just like me, I was cruising, looking for something to do. I was bagging some stuff too, and then I go, hey, I'll go out and see what these guys are doing.
It's called Expensive Paper.
Yeah, that's the name. Carlos Collects Comics is the YouTube channel.
Okay.
But you can go Instagram and Carlos Collects Comics, and there's also one Expensive Paper.
I think Expensive Paper I've dropped in on before.
I think so too. Yeah, these ain't even. I got lots of good books that I've been collecting on here for the last 5 years when I first started again. Now I'm just figuring out which ones I'm going to keep. But see, if I don't sell this GI Joe, I wanted to get it graded. It's pretty good shape. I think it's a 9.2 or higher. Oh well.
Scott's
I don't know what
here preparing to clear out his collection as well.
Yeah, definitely know about clear, but thin. Anyway.
5,000 down to 5,000. I think, despite 5,000 remaining, that's clearing out a collection.
And it's probably going to be closer to 7,500, but
I don't know. I got comics all right through here in my little trailer, and then I got all those are comics. Oh, I got it backwards. No, I don't. There we go. And then all through there in my little trailer. That's all I've been collecting since I started, and you first saw me online and stuff 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm trying. Yeah, mostly I have been collecting is Wolverine and Green Lantern. Those are my big ones.
You excited for Sunday?
For what?
Are you excited for Sunday with the TV show starting?
Oh, Green Lantern? Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, definitely. I always like Green Lantern. Well, my last name's Green, too, so I always liked Green Lantern. But what I liked about Green Lantern was it was his will. No one could break his will. Whatever he thought, it's like, you can't do that. Or it's like Hulk Hogan. When he hulks up at the end, they're beating on him, he stands up and does it anyway. I always thought like that. You can't tell me no, And I always loved Green Lantern because of the, oh, yeah? And he'd come up with something they don't even know about and just waste them. I always loved Green Lantern growing up.
They released like the first 5 minutes of the show yesterday.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I liked it. It looks like it's more serious. It's got a more like kind of TV show dramatic tone looking to it and everything.
but not too much BS.
Mm-hmm.
It's on HBO Max, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make it a comic book. Don't mess it up.
I just don't want it to be. A lot of people said like the James Gunn Superman was was a comic booky comic movie, and I think that they kind of went too far with that because it's a movie, so it needs to feel like a movie. And I get what people are saying, but you got to find that balance. I like when you bring a comic to life at the movies. I don't want to watch a comic at the movies. I want to watch a movie about comic characters, if that makes sense.
Well, I like watching a movie where I don't know where I haven't figured out the ending before the end of the movie.
That helps. Yeah. Go watch End of Oak Street. That's a good one with the whole thing's built around a mystery. How did these dinosaurs get in this neighborhood?
In the first place.
Yeah, dude, it was fun. It was really cool.
No, I haven't seen that one yet. I'm not big on the horrors, but I've been watching the let's see, the 97, X-Men 97. Been keeping up on that. And I watched the Supergirl movie. It was all right. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be with the way they talked about it. But it wasn't great either, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I've seen it twice. The new Spider-Man movie, that turned out all right.
Yeah, I like the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, everybody's talking about the storyline and stuff. I go, well, if you didn't read the storyline, it's a very good movie. Yeah, me neither. It's a very good movie overall.
Yeah, the name of that movie has nothing to do with the story in the comics, and I think that's a huge plus because no one likes the comic book Brand New Day. That was the storyline that made everyone mad when. And I get the idea that no one remembers Peter from the last movie, and that's really the only connection kind of thing. But they handled that new movie so well. I gave it a solid 7.5 because there's a lot of it that's just bogged down in the genre and stuff.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that with Peter as a primary focus was great. Punisher was fantastic in it, and their dynamic was awesome because
the Punisher was better than that one little thing he had recently.
That seems like Marvel characters I even care about anymore in the comic books is Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Punisher. That's it. So I got to see 2 out of 3 of them share the screen together, and that was something I'd never experienced in my life. That was that earned it some points alone. When Spider-Man was swinging from the ceiling and pulling Frank with the web, and Frank's just firing the whole time. I'm like, oh God, that was just so cool.
Yeah, I was going to watch it again tomorrow.
Yeah, he's not a bad Punisher.
I got this app I can watch him on.
What app?
It's called Zutilla or something like that. Zutilla. Can't remember it right now. I got it a long time ago, and it's one you can watch. They put it out in another country, and then they'll film it on a camera, the movie, and then they'll play it. So some of them aren't too bad. If they are, I just wait and watch them again. But yeah, I've seen stuff 3 or 4 days before it comes out sometimes.
Yeah. Well, when you get a chance, watch End of Oak Street. It's not a horror movie. Unless you consider Jurassic Park a horror movie, it's that same kind of vibe.
Well, I looked at it and I read what it said. It said horror. So yeah, I'll check it out.
Don't believe it. It's all like just running for your life, fighting dinosaurs, bro.
Back in high school or junior high and high school, and just after, didn't have the internet, but I could tell you about movies like they do now. I was so into movies all the time, behind the scenes stuff, not the movie itself, but everybody learns nowadays. I already knew all that back in the day. Nowhere to share it, but I was there.
Yeah, and speaking of the 80s, the movie, it takes place in the 1980s. So it has all that fun nostalgia stuff and before cell phones and
the last thing I knew behind the scenes was Return of the Jedi, because they filmed the redwood scenes up here. We went up the day after they quit filming, just above Smith River here, about 5 miles inland from the highway, and we found where the bunker was, the back door. And what they did, it was all wood. They just filled it all in with all the wood and everything, props they use of wood, and they just covered it with dirt. We got about 10 feet in, and it started getting dangerous.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we found some. We walked some of the trails that they filmed on. Plus, I had 4 or 5 people I knew and went to school with that were in it
That's really cool.
on screen.
I just got a message from somebody today to let me know that their sister is in the upcoming Superman movie, and they had just got done talking to their sister apparently, and she called them to talk about how excited she was that she just filmed a scene in the upcoming Superman movie and what her part was in it and stuff, and they hit me up to share that. That was cool.
As long as they don't edit it.
Yeah.
Edit it out, right? And like you were talking about we were talking about the movies don't match the content. It's because if you look at the thing at the beginning, there always says based on. So it's just a based on, which means we just took the name. That was it.
Yeah. Sometimes,
basically,
like
yeah.
That was one of that's like a lot of people's biggest complaints using Supergirl as an example. That was they literally adapted a very specific story. They didn't take that movie and base it on 60 years of history of Supergirl and form their own Supergirl. They took a 7-issue story that stands on its own outside of the rest of Supergirl, and they adapted that story and did a terrible fucking job doing it. And the director has even since came out and said, oopsies, guys, I misread the ending of the book. That's why Supergirl murders that guy in the movie. You know, he's laying on the ground helpless, already defeated, and she just walks up and stabs him twice with a sword casually. Like, dude, you already won. What are you doing? That's just cold-blooded murder. And, you know, Lobo was just in a jail cell right over there that Lobo couldn't even get. Just put this guy in that. Like, there's options. Why would you do that? But she misread the comic and thought that the guy died in the comics, and he didn't. They put him in the Phantom Zone for 300 years, and they
kind of made Supergirl ruthless there, huh? She was trying not to be that way, and she figured out what family was, but not after you kill somebody like that.
I don't know if she did or didn't. I think that's
well, according to the ending of the movie.
Sometimes for me, movies come off as like soulless. Like the movie's there, the action scenes are there, but the way that Supergirl is at the very beginning of the movie is the exact way she is at the end of the movie, all the way down to being back at the same planet, back at a bar, going to drink, but this time with a kid, going to get drunk. So she literally had zero character growth through the whole movie. She had no learning curve. She had no teaching curve, because the whole time she was telling Ruthie that murder's not the way. Don't kill him. And then she kills him. So she doesn't even have a teachable moment. And so you just literally watched a movie with no story for your characters. You watched them participate in an event with no growth. And I think the most standard thing for any book, movie, any story where you follow a character, you're following them on their journey from point A to point B through some kind of internal something. And she didn't have any of that.
And in none of the movie part, it ever justified why she killed him. She had to. Like in some of the movies, I did it so that a kid, I've been there, go away, and they do it instead. You know, like cowboy movies and stuff. But there was nothing saying why she killed him, except stay away from the girl.
It's even in the most controversial superhero death scene in any movie is Superman breaking Zod's neck. But you remember how Superman was holding Zod as best as he could, and Zod was heat visioning at that family, that husband and wife and kids, and he's screaming and begging Zod to stop. Don't do it, no. And Zod said, never. You'll have to kill me. And he won't stop. And he kept screaming and begging, and he broke Zod's neck, and then he cried and fell to his knees. We knew
I felt that.
We
I don't want to hurt you. What are you doing? Yeah.
Begging him to stop. Zod telling us he's not going to stop. It's them or me.
And there's people in this world that think and act like that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get political into nothing. It's too late. I'm getting tired. Well, anyway, I'm going to take off, guys. Oh, if you could be in any movie, what would it be?
Showgirls. Pirates with Jessie Jane.
I can't really think of any right now. I really
Striptease with Demi Moore. I got
Only if I could be. Only if I could be her practice partner.
Yeah. I would like to take on the role of Burt Reynolds in Striptease. It's a drunk congressman hanging out at a strip club.
I don't know. Yeah, he's sniffing the foot. Yeah. The fuzz from the hair
That
dryer.
movie was so funny, and Robert Patrick still in wheelchairs the whole time from nursing homes and stuff. And that movie was funny.
It's been a while, but yeah, shit. All right, brother. I'll see you guys later. Good night. Maybe I'll hook up with you next time or on your show next. It's just sometimes I'm doing stuff because you're Eastern and I'm Western.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when your show's on, I'm busy doing something else when you go live. So.
Well, I'll be live Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, immediately following the premiere of Lanterns.
All right, on.
Viewing the first episode, swing through, talk Green Lantern with us.
Yeah, if I'm not, I'm gonna try and see if I can sell an Astonishing Comics Sunday. But if I'm not, I'll stop by.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Peace.
Yeah, Carlos Collect. It's great. I've been a member there. I even joined. It's the only one I pay $15 a month to be on. But you should see the care packages. They're awesome. All right, guys.
Hope they come with a hand job.
Agree.
Hey, good night, y'all. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, how do I get out of here?
The back arrow should do it. Yep. I'm about to hop off too. It's 12 o'clock. I got to get up at 7 o'clock on my off day and get this kid ready for karate testing.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a specific goal tonight for how far I'm going to get, but
you need to finish that entire room. You got those printout sticky sheets. You shouldn't go to you don't get to gift yourself with sleep until you complete that entire printout.
No, that's not going to happen tonight.
That whole stack needs to go.
Yeah, it's not quite. Into the Super Magicians.
That's cool cover. Yeah, you were hooked on those for a while.
Until I got them done. January of 45.
That's a crazy, wild year right there.
Oh,
things got a little bit crazier as the year progressed.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Well, I'm heading to bed.
Thanks for hopping in.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's fun catching up. Go see Oak Street.
I will. I'll get her.
Watch it for yourself. Let me know what you think. Have fun with it. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Later, man. And then there was me. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to hang, but I'm just amazed at how many of these, I'll hang for until these modern bags are gone. Because surprisingly, a lot of these later Golden Age books are actually fitting. 4-3. Spine chips. That's going to be the fine. Volume 4, Number 3, from 1945. July of 45. Oops. Yeah, Super Magician is a really underrated series. Lots of really cool art. Centers around Harry Blackstone, who was, back in the 40s, 30s even, he was kind of a rock star. He goes on adventures all over the world using magic to save the day. Yeah, Street and Smith was a publisher on these, and they used about every cost-cutting method they could. I always joke that they would pick staples up off the floor and reuse them. They have a lot of books that were a single staple book. And yeah, at some point, I think they just started making them a little bit smaller before everybody else did. They wouldn't waste paper. I mean, I think they were a cheap publisher, but couple that with it being wartime with the paper drive and everything else that was going on, they would, if they messed up a wrap, they would cut it in half and still staple it in the book. I think everything was hand stapled back then. Nice ad for Captain Tootsie on the back of that one. But yeah, the earlier books definitely have to be in the Golden Age bags. But these later runs from the later 40s, well, they're mid 40s, but they're fitting in a modern bag just fine. So it's closer to a Silver Age size. Now, surprisingly, the paper quality was pretty decent. Thick cover stock. Interior may have been a little light, especially with the earlier issues. There are a lot of lots of chipping. Let me find one of the earlier. I've got at least one, if not multiple books that they printed. This might be one of them. It's like they printed it backwards. So for the page to fit right, they had to, they couldn't bind it normally. They had to bind it backwards and then separate the pages. Oh, this is it. So you can see the rips on the pages actually match up to the page following. So it's actually bound in backwards. And they would just put a little fold in it and staple it in. This was actually the cover, I think, that got me hooked on this series. This one's from '44. Jason, you know I got a ton of extras. I got duplicates of about all of them. Volume 3, number 2. I hope you're not getting them hooked on claim sales already. This definitely needs to go in a gold bag. Mostly Disney. Well, I got a ton of Disney duplicates, that's for sure. From gold all the way up to current. I think I may have a duplicate of one of the early issue 2 or 3. I may have doubles of. I can't remember. I don't have all of them cataloged yet, but I still have my old database file. So Walt Disney. Comics and stories. But maybe it's Looney Tunes. I've got an extra copy of number 2. Or I don't, or this database isn't updated. But I swore I had an extra copy of one of the early Disney's. Yeah, this isn't showing extras because I know I've got like 4 copies of issue 28. And it's only shown 1 on this database. So for how long it takes me to get there, I'll get it figured out. Man, a lot of these are going to fit in a modern bag. Which kind of sucks. Because enough of them fit in a golden that I'm going to have to still use the magazine. Oh, modern. And nope. Like a minefield in here. Standard. I guess I called it modern. It's actually a standard. 7 1/4 by 10 1/2. I've got an extra first Scrooge. The one in the let's see, what issue is that? I think it's the extra. No, 4-color second series. It's is it 377 maybe? Somewhere in the threes. It's the one where he's in the boat, which I think is the first of his own title. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having a piece of Charles Schultz art either. It's on my list someday. No, it's not 377. So 379 has Scrooge in it. So it's before then. Yes, 386. I have an extra one of those. That's first in his own title. And then it was like maybe 360 something is a first appearance. Or 316. It's a weird looking, it's a red cover. But yeah, anyways, I got a ton of duplicates of the other Disney titles in 4-color, but I definitely have an extra 386. Yes, Christmas on Bear Mountain. That's the other one I was thinking of. I do not. At least I don't think I've got an extra one of those. In fact, because I just found those today, digging through a box. All right. Volume 3, number 3. I've got a pour. And I've got a VG. So which is which? Attached centerfold. So that's got to be the pour. This looks better than VG. Oh, corn shoes. Carl Barks colored prelims. I saw there was a Carl Barks black and white pencil, I think, like a pencil prelim that snuck through on eBay the other day for like a $300 buy it now. I don't know what the odds of getting a good Carl Barks page is. Okay, a decent Carl Barks page. We know a good one is going to be crazy stupid. But something that's a good representation, a good example. I mean, I don't know how inexpensive it can be gotten for. Did you get that Turok page that got listed the other day? Annual one or yearbook one. It was a, I think Anthony listed it maybe. Can't remember who the artist was now, but it was a decent page. So many of these super magicians are missing the centerfolds because the centerfolds was the magic trick of the month. And they'd rip them out and so they could practice their magic, I guess. Yeah, the Dave Cockrum page. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of half tempted on it, but I didn't. Then Anthony posted a Spectre page tonight. I sent him an offer on. Don't know if he. I assume he will accept it. He's asking 575, and I offered him 500. I don't see why he wouldn't take that, but not the greatest piece in the world, but it's one I don't have. From a book I don't have. It's an artist I don't have any representation of. Yeah, I don't see why not. So the top top panel is a Spectre throwing Dr. Fate to the end of the known universe or something like that. That's Dr. Fate hidden in the page. And then Spectre kind of gets put to sleep by by Kulak. But yeah, the All-Star page. So it's a decent enough page, and it's not, he doesn't have a lot of, late bronze or any bronze, basically, age appearances. I don't know. 83, I think, is when this came out. I'd be scared to even try and fix a spine roll on these, especially these single staple books. But it's got a big spine roll on it. I mean, suppose you get enough moisture on it. But these books, they're just put together until you hold one in your hand and you see how it's put together. It's not. It kind of goes against anything in bookbinding that would seem intuitive. Volume 2, number 12. And I only have one of them, so yes. Volume 2, number 12 from 1944. April of 44. Oh, here's what I mean. So here's a book, and there's pages that are ripped out, and there's the last page, and the first facing page, Red Dragon. What's missing is Blackstone's Magic Hanky, which has 2 pages, 3 pages, 4, 5, and then Blackstone Tricks, 2, 3, and there we are to Red Dragon. So you see that pretty consistently throughout the series. You know, that on top of it being, most of them being single staple books, it's a nightmare finding any of these in good condition. I had to buy a lot of these over again. I bought a ton of them where they were sold as being, people wouldn't do page counts. So I bought them as a complete book. And then when they'd show up, I'd find out pages were missing. So I learned pretty quick to have people count pages before I would bid. A lot of pissed off people didn't understand why they needed to count pages. I had to teach a lot of people how to count pages in a book. Like the crowd is dwindling. I'm going to do 2 more books and probably call it a night. My incomplete duplicate. That is definitely going to be a golden age. Bag and board. Volume 4, number 5. September of 45. And 4-4. All right. So I've got 3 of these. So which one is this? Cover is not detached. Hanging on by a thread. This has detached centerfold. So this is the VG. And yeah, it's gonna fit in a standard. Barely, but it fits, I think. August of 45. Separating out my duplicates, being a good boy. All right, that's it. Enough for tonight. Thanks everybody who tuned in, even though there's nobody left. And anybody catching on the rewind, hope you enjoy it. Plenty more to come.